Okay, maybe you saw. I tried to step into the video after it had started so that you could see what is behind me. I'm in our basement, family room, and the lake is back there. It looks very bright from here because of the ceiling lights, but it's a rainy day. So today's March 1st, 2021, Flosstube video number 92. I'm Pam, stitching between the lines. And coming to you today from the basement because the bathroom construction work is still going on. It's week 4. We're not going to talk about that though. Except I will show a picture. This was a fun one. I've been videotaping along the way, just, a couple times as they did to see the before, some rip out, and I haven't taped since, but it's coming. It's just slow. It's just slow. So anyway, I mostly stay in my sewing space or down here. If I seem to hesitate or pause and listen, look at that hair, right? What is that? It's because I'm listening to their footsteps. I'm making sure they're not looking for me as they walk somewhere in the house. So anyway, it's a gloomy Monday. It's okay. March 1st. It's a mild day. Winds are supposed to come big, strong winds, the kind that knock out people's power tonight. So I think that means March is coming in like a lion. It's supposed to be a rainy turn to snow day. I think it's 39 right now. So not quite snow yet, but anyway, it's coming. So I've been stitching away. I haven't been able to do the heavy concentration on one project that I had hoped. I kind of realized after I said it that with the bathroom going on, the interruptions, I just wouldn't be able to, sort of like mellow into my spot in the way that I would want to and dedicate some serious time to one of my really big projects. So I've been working away at this and that. I've got my planner, which I've been really good about keeping up with so far. This morning I filled out all my whips that are moving into March with me, and I keep track of what I work on. I trying to do a weekly thing, and sometimes like Hawk Run Hollow was a week, but then I carried it on because I wanted to finish the block. So whatever, this thing's done. So I do have that, and I have all my projects, not necessarily in the order they would come along in the calendar, but whatever. So Hawk Run Hollow, Farms of Hawk Run Hollow. The block that I just completed was this one, Saturday Dance, which had more stitching than I even imagined. That was a lot of stitching. I was surprised at, but I guess, when you think about that's like a third of the block, is solid stitched, at least that much. And then all those funky little people. So we have reached the halfway mark on Farms of Hawk Run Hollow. And when I was creating my Mania goals, I think these two were Mania this year to finish those, and then sometime in the year between now and Mania 2021 was to finish 2 more blocks, which I have done. I'd like to outline the next block at some point, just random stitching time. Hang on, let me roll it up and put it away and get out the pattern. I'd like to outline, it would be this one. Now this one I believe I could do in a week probably. This one I have a feeling is not a week-long project when you consider this is all solid and then the tree. So I think that'll be a big... I'll have to commit more than just a week, or that will be all by itself a Mania goal. We'll see. There's still time. And then the next thing I moved on to was, I'm listening, was Tingles. I'm doing it all in one on a piece of, sorry, you might just have to, it might just have to be an unknown for this video. I've touched on it many times, but so I'm trying to do a thing a month. So this, in the month of February, Just Batty was the block, which isn't a very big block. And I had outlined a good third or more of it, half of it, when I was outlining this one. So I finished it and I went on and I did what would be, in my mind, March's block plus the 2 extras. And I'm feeling like I think this is half done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, so I've done 6. I'm feeling like just working away on this one for a little while and seeing where I get instead of stopping after each little bit. I don't know why, except that it's kind of fun to stitch, and I really, you know, I guess I don't feel like I want to keep dragging it out forever, but I don't know that I'm going to commit completely to finishing it. So I'm done to down there. So this is a month. This one that runs this way is a month, and I don't know what else. We'll see. We'll see. So that was Tingles, and then I did, I was going to do a better recap of this. This is my Prim Village, which I'm trying to do a house a month, and I'm going to paw through my thread for half a minute because I know there's a little slip of paper in here. I get the question, oh yeah, there we go. I get the question every single time about what color threads I'm using, so we'll recap them right now. And then I'm going to look back and figure out which video I went through my whole process of picking, and then I'll be able to reference that so that I don't have to say this 100 times. To me, this is not prim. This is just sort of, I don't even know what to call it, but I wouldn't call it primitive. I went and I picked out a fabric bundle out of my stash that's more, in my eyes, prim, and I wanted to make it Christmas too. And it was reds and greens, and I went and I matched out threads, paired up threads in the greens and the yellow pairings. And so this is the block I just did. Now, I explained this in my first video, is that nobody's going to be able to duplicate it exactly, because I have a limited edition thread in there, and I have some different dye lot threads. So let's just do a quick look. I just have something I can help me hold it. The first block I did was this one. So first of all, my border is done in a Weeks Dye Works color called Noel, and it's variegated, and it matched the colors that I was pulling, so that worked nicely. So that was my border. The first block that I did, which was this one way over here, is the dark is Weeks Dye Works Brick, and the light is Crescent Colors Clay Pot. The next one, this green one, was 2 shades of Crescent Colors Bean Sprout. So when I went through my colors, Bean Sprout, I had Bean Sprout, and they were that varied in their color. The next green one I did, the dark, was in Crescent Colors English Ivy, and the light was Gentle Arts Baby Spinach. Now this red house is, the light one is Calico Kitty, which is a classic Colorworks. And sorry, the threads are clipped. The printer just woke up over there. I don't know what it's printing. There's nobody here but me. Is a limited edition color called, it's even penciled in on there, not by me, but we got it in a retreat, so it's Rustic Cottage. Gentle Arts, anyway. I know, maybe Crescent Colors, I don't know who else. a shop or whatever who's having a retreat could commission some limited editions, and that's what this came from. So, Rustic Cottage, I don't even know what it compares to. Calico Kitty, Rustic Cottage. That made up this block. And then for the yellow, I like it when a house is like at night or wintry or Christmassy or whatever, I like to use a yellow in the windows. So my yellow is Queen Bee, which is a Classic Colorworks. And I guess when I'm saying Crescent Color, I really mean Classic Colorworks. I wrote CC down. I'm an old school and have been doing this a long time, so that's what we knew them by. So Queen Bee is my windows, and then my roof is Hickory Sticks, which is a Classic Colorworks. I haven't figured out the chimneys and the doors. I found some strands of a variegated brown that were in my pile of flosses waiting to be filed away, and I thought I would use that, and I don't know what it is. It got separated from the herd and it's all by itself, and I'm not convinced that there's enough to do 12 doors and all the chimneys, so that's on hold still. I'll circle back around. So there we go. I'm going to pull some more reds. No, I think it's green comes. Let me see. Okay. So the picture I saw was red, green, green, red, and then green, red, green, red. So if I'm working over it from this side, opposite direction of how you would read a book, just because of the way I roll up and hold, I want to roll up and hold my finished stitching as short a time as possible. Come back over here and I'll do another red house, and I don't know what color. I will look through my pairings. Like I said, I went through my drawers and I paired up things and clipped them together. I'm seriously lacking in the greens. Like, here's some reds that I did. Apple fritter, I'm reading them backwards, so an Aztec red, that's a potential. We'll see. When they're super variegated, sometimes there's a light in there that's light enough to blend too much with this. I don't know. So it's sort of a little bit of winging it. I feel like I might need to go through my flosses again and pick some more green pairs. I only had 3, or shift up the pairing or duplicate. When I was looking a little harder at the picture that I'm kind of copying, which I'm sorry, I don't know its origins. Somebody else showed it on Flosstube and I just picked it up from there. I believe lots of their parent color houses were just duplicates of exactly the same. So, there. I'm not sure if that helped a whole lot, but there you go. That is what I was doing. So there's those things, and then I'm just looking at my piles. I think I'm getting out the stuff so I can really tell you without a lot of. I have this. I had this pattern, and I love this font. I love a cursive font. And so Valentine's Day in February, I just picked it up, and I had just the right fabric, which I think, without going and pulling it out, I think is the other half of what Tingles is on. And it's got the label, and it is 32 count ale. No guarantee I'm correct. Tingles, I don't know. It's written down somewhere. So anyway, I just caught my finger on the needle and pulled it loose. Let me tuck it. I stitched all of the words and whatever else was in the pattern. And then I boxed it in. And then I boxed in its mate. So that's why you see all those empty squares. And I've already cut off the top because I FFO'd the first one. And my very favorite beaded edge finish, stuffed with walnut shells. I used up almost all the beads I had. I only had a few left. So I didn't put anything in the back. They're going to look really cute in a bowl. I ordered more beads, so they're on the way. So isn't that cute? So I will slowly plug away. So this didn't even get to be a whip. This is just, I started it and I just worked on it till it's done. So I didn't even have to write it on my calendar as a whip that I carried through. Oh, my thread is grungy red. All I have is a big wad left, and the tag, grungy red from, yeah, we know. Not your average place for thread. From the Tattered Flag, the old Tattered Flag. I have pink too. I was debating what to use. Old Tattered Flag is a shop that I see advertised in the primitive punch needlework, whatever its name is. You know what I mean. It's about 3 hours from here. It's mostly wool for rug hooking. That's really the kind of store it is rug hooking and wool. I was really hoping for more cross stitch when I went in, and it had some, not much at all, but it has a nice, no, I wouldn't say an array. It might be a dozen or so colors of this grungy, over-dyed, hand-dyed, and they use DMC as their base. So it's, the 8 point whatever yards. Very reasonably priced. I bought a bunch of individual skeins, and then I bought a package of all their skeins when I was there. So, anyway, that's where that came from. And let me clean this up, and I see a thread that belongs in Prim Village. Get that in there. So, that's my Stitcher Hood, I guess what's it called? Expressions Valentine. Pretty. I don't know. I've had this pattern for a while. I have no idea where or when I got it. And then I had an finish. I had a finish. I finally finished, but not fully finished. This was a Mania start. And in 2020, it was Hindsight's Welcome to the Lake. I had 1 day's work done on it right here. It was in my should only need a week bin, and it's not finished. Like, I probably won't show it again. What I am working on is, let's see, there's a thread, like an outline that runs between the light and the dark on every letter. I've got the E is done. Nothing else is done. That's what I'm going to work on in the next couple days, is just doing the quick outlining of those things. This is on a 32 count Picture This Plus Regency, so it's kind of tight. I was doing it 2/2. So the reality of doing an outlining stitch when you've tightly stitched, this was hard. Outlining these little birch trees was hard. I really thought I would finish this Saturday. These letters, it's shocking how long these letters take. These letters took as long as the whole rest of it. There's 4 colors. The big ones have 4 colors. The smaller ones have 3 colors. I don't know. I worked on it a lot too. I really couldn't believe I wasn't going to finish it. I say I worked on it a lot, but I think there was one day where I barely got to stitch at all. And then I discovered I had goofed in here. Instead, when I did the original outlining, instead of bumping in a stitch and going down, I bumped out a stitch and went down. And then I did the shadowing the same way. And then when I was putting the picture in it, I discovered, what the problem was. And so I had to take out all this and restitch it. My L is technically 2 stitches too long, but I left it there and just made it work where that affected it was down here. That was easy to make it work. And then just to reposition this word 1 additional stitch away from each. So that compensated for the 2 extra, which is fine. It's just a whimsical thing. It hardly makes a difference. So I was very happy to have 1 less whip to carry into March. I know it's technically still a whip, but it'll be done. I'm just we're going with it, right? It's my work. It's my book, my calendar. I'll do the things. And then I saw this, which is not like something that's new. I just saw it again this year. And I almost was really sure I had the pattern, but I tore my pattern box apart and didn't. And I liked it. I've always liked it. So I ordered the bunny on, I think Priscilla showed it a couple years ago. And that's when it was all the like super popular rage. And this year I revisited it and said, that really is cute. So I ordered the bunny from Hobby Lobby, and it came, and it really is a nice, substantial bunny. So I bought the pattern. I downloaded it. I picked it up this morning. It's like 9 in the morning? Yeah, 9 o'clock right now. So it wasn't even 8 o'clock yet this morning, and my bathroom worker guy showed up at 7:30. So anyway, makes my day long. I just picked this up and started on it. A couple stitches, and I should finish this before March is out, so it shouldn't even be an actual whip that goes from month to month. But I dug through my fabric and I found this piece of purple. Oh, I left everything upstairs, sorry. It was like I used to be in the Fabric of the Month Club from the store in New Jersey. Sorry if I'll put it here. I'll even put the name of the fabric here. And opalescent's not exactly my favorite, but when I was in that Fabric of the Month Club, this was back before the current owners were dying. I don't know the whole story, but things changed dramatically. I got the best fabric, unexpected fabrics, and this is just a one-off, I think, or I don't know. I don't know that it's a color you can order. And it's purple, and I've started right in the middle, so I'm on the letter S here on this glittery purpley. So that'll be a little cute seasonal thing to do. It shouldn't take me terribly long, but we already know my estimation skills for how long something's going to take me is a little bit off. So assuming I don't get messed up doing the wreath or something silly like that. And then I, have things pulled out. I think maybe I saw somebody who's doing this in its companion piece or talked about doing it, and I thought, oh, I have that. I only have this. I don't know what the companion piece is. It's so cute. It's just so stinking cute, and the pipe is a bit of a concern. I'm not really sure where I'm going with that, but to me, this is Uncle Wiggily. Do y'all remember Uncle Wiggily? Maybe when I was about 6, I got the Uncle Wiggily game for Christmas, and those little figures that you moved, on the game board were these little rabbits. They were the cutest thing ever, standing up rabbits like this. So this is Uncle Wiggily to me. What I need to do is go look up Uncle Wiggily and see if he had a pipe. Anyway, those chicks are so darn cute. I haven't pulled fabric or threads, but just if I'm feeling, after the other Easter one is done, feeling like a little seasonal something in my rotation, or whatever. I'm down to where I have 16 whips, which isn't horrible. A lot of them are very big though, and a few of them I could finish with just a couple weeks of work. And Shannon Christine Ornaments is still hanging in there. I didn't take it off. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I know I'm not the only one who's disappointed in this. We signed up for a series that you pay every month, and you get the patterns. And just because a pattern is labeled as free, doesn't mean that it's not part of the contract that we entered into, and that we kept our end of it by paying when we got billed. So that's a little discouraging, and I understand there's been a little bit of health issues. That doesn't change the fact that we held up our end of the deal. So I may just put it away and not even bother with the free one. The last one, its name being free doesn't mean that it's not part of the whole package that we paid for. So anyway, we'll stop talking about that. And then let's see, I've had a lot of time to do a lot of sewing in my sewing room, because mostly I hang out in there, which is our TV room, den / sewing space. I hang out in there because I stay with the cat, who's, you know, a little a lot anxious over this whole thing. I don't know where he is. He was down here. Usually he stays really close to me, so I usually stay in there with him and you know, while away the hours. So this was a project that Lori Holt did a free demo on her Flosstube. Just Google search in Flosstube for Lori Holt, and she does some cross stitch to it. She's the designer behind It's So Emma. And she had this pattern that she demoed for these Santa hats that I thought was the cutest thing ever. So I had made some to be like hot mats on your table. I have a thing about getting out like cute little hot mats when you're having dinner, like with a holiday dinner or a family dinner or whatever. So I have this whole collection of seasonal hot mats you put on the table when you put a hot dish down. And then I had enough of the red fabric left that I made 4 of them that I made into like a table topper. So put them together, used there's some cutaway half square triangles in this, and I cut them down and made the pinwheel that fits in the middle so that it all sizes together correctly. It's so cute, isn't it? Look at that. Let me see if I have it right side up. I love vintage Christmassy looking, vintage Christmas, Halloween, whatever fabrics. So if I see some, I usually buy a couple yards, and it comes in so handy when you have things like this that you need to put a back on. So this it's got batting in it. It doesn't have the heat resistant batting in it. But it's a really cute holiday table topper. So I always dig through my cupboard. We have this cupboard in the dining room closet, like floor to ceiling closet. It's all little shelves. It's only maybe a foot deep, and we call it the placemat closet. And so all my table runners and table toppers and seasonal things are in there. So just this morning I was rifling through looking for something spring looking. So this will go in there. And there you have it. For all the stitching I've been doing, or what feels like all that stitching, I don't know. Maybe it's a lot. I don't know. So anyway, we had a winner for the drawing last week, Jill Froelich, and she has contacted me, and her package is winging its way to her. She may even get it by now. I put it in the mail on Wednesday. Wednesday would have been February 25th. So I have the tracking if I have to look it up, but I imagine it's on its way. She'll have it soon. And what else? What do you do? The month of March isn't usually known for being very exciting, so there will be lots of stitching. And I almost can be certain there will be a done bathroom. The guy who's supposed to come and measure for the shower door and the 2 glass walls on either side of it, they're partial walls, didn't show up last week. He was supposed to be here on Wednesday, and he hasn't come yet. That'll be our holdup, I think, once the bathroom is done, is that we won't have a shower door or the little glass walls. So, I don't know. Nothing else. Humdrum, ho-hum. More of the same. What can I say? I finally got my hands on the new John Grisham book, which is probably not as new as new. Love a good John Grisham. So, lots of reading time. The Midnight Library, that's the other book I'm reading by Matt Haig. That one, while the story might not have the most vast appeal, the idea, the premise, that when you're in limbo between life and death, you're in a library and every book on the shelf is your life had you made a different choice. So I really like that kind of storyline. It's just always interesting. I find it interesting. There's a piece of fuzz. Excuse me. So that one is I'm enjoying that one too. So there you have it. My life in a nutshell. It's boring. Not really. I'm not complaining. Honestly, I saw a neighbor yesterday who just stopped down to visit their house and make sure things were all right. And we're moaning and groaning about whatever because, you know, my life is sort of at a standstill. I said, you know what? I don't have anything to complain about. Yes, my bathroom remodel is in week 4, but that is nothing. There are people who are suffering so much more with weather, with illness, with the whole situation. I am somebody who doesn't generally mind staying home. I'm good with it. That's not where my restlessness comes from. It's just, you know, it's what it is. So I'm going to step out of the picture because I pretty much messed up. I videoed me not in the picture so you could see out here, and then I came into the picture, but I wasn't, that was cut off. I had to reset up the camera. So this is a room we haven't been in yet, but we're at a table we've been at before because it used to be in the family room basement of our other house. So let me touch the camera, make it focus a little more on the lake. So we have sliders that go out into a patio that's underneath the deck above, and the small hillside down to the lake. Maybe if I get those lights out of it. So our chairs swivel. So on a nice day, you can swivel around and read your book and have a view of the lake. Today, because it's still winter, I put the chair right in front of it. This is one of the fireplaces that we had turned from wood burning to a gas insert last year. Makes a huge difference because we are in a basement. Its standard temperature, regardless of central heat, is 63 degrees. So we rely on the fireplace in the evening when we come down here, or like on a day like today when I'll probably spend a lot of my day down here. Makes such a difference. It's so nice. So there we have it. Hope everybody's doing well, enjoying their March, the start of March. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.